Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming to our pitch event. Today is number 42. Actually, we done one this morning in Europe, late afternoon in Asia, and now we are repeating today with 4 founders coming from Europe and US. As we address founders coming from all over the world, we are so pleased today to have Andrew, Albert, Oisin, and Kaushal with us. And let me start with Andrew. Andrew, I'm very happy to have you with us today. And Andrew Kislov, CEO and founder of Emonomy. Emonomy is based in Lewis, Delaware. It's advertising the sector, and we're talking about the C round of USD 300K. How's it going, Andrew?
It goes really interesting, not easy, well, bad sometimes, and without sleep.
Life of founders, no sleeping, always awake. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm doing my best with sleep.
I'm sure. Andrew, if you want to give a short intro to yourself, and after please pitch, and we talk later.
Yeah, sure thing. So, as you know, my name is Andrew. I'm neuroscientist by my education. Spent almost a decade of my life in cognitive neuroscience, and I'm finishing my PhD in the field of cognitive neuroscience. For the last 6 years of my life, I've been doing different startups and businesses in the field of marketing and advertising. And Emonomy is a result of these 2 worlds of mine. So the first one is from neuroscience, the second one is advertising and marketing, and this is what we're building. So Emonomy is so right now it's the time to pitch, right? I think yes.
Go.
So Emonomy is a tool which was invented for brand marketing in the world where only emotions matters, let's say. So what it is? Obviously, this is a noise, right? So this is a white noise, and this is exactly how around 80% of the whole advertising are perceived by people. So we live in this informational noisy environment, bombed by the advertisers with not relevant ads for us. Annually, around $150 billion are wasted for ineffective ads. Only like 20% of the whole media budgets are really working, right? $150 billion are wasted. So this is massive. So in a nutshell, what we're doing, we solving this problem, helping advertisers to understand what, where, whom to show, as easy as it is. We created a solution which allows to predict which ads in which media channels, like in YouTube or on Facebook or on TikTok or wherever, are relevant for people and going to deliver positive impact on advertising spend, and which are not. So this is kind of A/B tests, but not for performance, but rather for brand marketing, where there is no data at all. And thanks for switching off ineffective channels and ineffective ads, it leads us to significant increase in emotional response and smiles and recalls, nearly doubling effectiveness of brand campaigns. So usually the best media campaign which advertisers can dream about can deliver 12% of a brand metrics uplift with a return on the expense for like 300%. This is a top quartile campaign. And using our technology, it's possible to get a 500% return on the expense, nearly much more than the top quartile campaign in the advertiser's life, because we utilize the data which no one in the market has. So we understand the consumer attention and emotion. So this data do not exist in the market without us. Currently, we are partnering with a number of the leading brands across the globe, with the guys like P&G, like Unilever, Toyota, Honda, Subaru, the largest advertisers got the pilots with us at the moment, and the leading agencies as well. And we believe that in the coming years, we'll be able to dramatically change brand marketing landscape, to decrease the amount of informational noise to times as this enormous $200 billion market and build a meaningful connection between brands and people finally. And in the coming years, we believe that global PepsiCo CMO might say that there is no other way to run effective brand campaign without Emonomy. This is a team of co-founders, so you already know me. I have a decade in neuroscience and around 8 years in marketing advertising. My partner, Cyril, founder, made 4 businesses and 3 exits. Our partner in the venture fund. My another co-founder is a senior developer at Accenture. Uh, Guy responsible for science got papers in Nature Group. Guy responsible for a product was a brand director in one of the leading e-com in the world. Non-executive director is ex-Y Combinator, raised money from almost 30 leading Silicon Valley funds. And this is our advisory board, which combines almost 100 years of industry expertise. So like Guy, like a chief marketing science officer in leading media agency, chief president in a leading research agency, Nielsen, leading scientist. So this is the I cannot really imagine the better advisory board for anyone in the marketing space. And one more thing about us. So we became a part of 500 Global Accelerator, and currently we're a part of their accelerator program. This is it from my side. Thank you for your attention and emotions. Happy to answer your questions.
Let me start. First of all, thank you so much, Andrew. Let me start from the name.
Yeah.
Where this name comes from? Why?
From emotion economy. So this is what we're building. I guess you heard about attention economy field. So like
Yeah.
everyone right now trying to capture attention of people. But so as you know, so I'm in the space for like a decade. So and this is where it goes. So attention is not enough. So we have to capture emotion of consumers. And it's a bit straightforward, but emotion economy leads to emonomy, right? So this is what we're doing by definition and by the name of our company.
I do believe if you can catch the right person, the right time with the right emotion, that's the best way to sell, indeed.
Yeah.
And now, how do you exactly capture this? It's pretty difficult.
In terms of spellings or
Yeah,
what?
in terms of targeting your marketing and targeting the audience, how do you do this?
You mean how we get our data about consumer attention and emotions targeting? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's based on so-called panels. So there are people, and we have around 2 million people across the globe who share their data with us. So they use Google Chrome, and at the same time, web camera works, and we collect their attentional response and emotions using a number of neural networks. So the guy watch his videos on YouTube, let's say, at the same time web camera works, and we understand whether he looks to the screen, if yes, whether he looks to the ad, if yes, whether he processes information or it's not relevant for him and it's just informational noise, whether he smiles or whether he's disgusted and so on. So we have this data each second of his using web browser. And these people are getting paid for their data sharing with us, of course.
Okay, but how do you report and how often are you going to use this data when you run a marketing campaign for your clients?
Yeah, so based on this data, we deliver this data to advertisers, and based on this data, they understand like, okay, so we spending money on Instagram. However, when we're doing this stuff, people do not process information; it's just informational noise, and the probability to capture attention, the motion here is super low. However, if we put the same amount of money to YouTube, let's say with a video number 3, then we're gonna get with the same media budget 2 times more smiles and 3 times more recalls of the ad. So if we want to increase the brand awareness and we want to increase the brand perception, we'd better put money in this channel with these ads rather than to another channel. And they're going to deliver to us 3 or 4 times more reactions we're looking for.
So depending where the channel is, let's say the attitude the people change.
Yeah.
This is what where comes your way how to deliver the data. Yeah.
Right. So we understand what is the best channel and what are the best ads in order to make in order to meet brand goal for
Okay,
this
but
campaign.
it's up to them to create the campaign. You tell
Well,
them how and where.
yes. Right now we just deliver the data. At the next phases, we have one of the hypotheses that we will manage budget by ourselves, but this is a for the next years, let's say. So this is not what we're doing right now.
You're running several pilots, but today I suppose they are free. So how is going to be your business model when it will start? One day you need to start generating revenues.
They're not free. So we the business model we're testing right now is that we have a small fixed cost plus percentage of a metrics uplift from media budget. So let's say we're working with, let's say Nestle. This is just an example. This is not real, just to give you numbers. So Nestle got around $50 million in media budgets. Thanks to us, they can increase efficiency of these media spends for like 50%. So it's going to be additional $25 million in the advertising budget thanks to our technology. And we want to get out of this uplift in their savings from 5 to 10%. So we want to get from 5 to 10% of media savings from the whole media budget.
So the number you're talking about, they're pretty consistent, pretty strong number.
Yeah.
Are you confident you can reach this level compared to the others today?
Yes. Well, this is what we're doing right now. So I mean that we right now at the stage when we validate our technology and understand whether it really works so well as we believe. No, so once we have, of course, number of cases. However, we need some cases right now when Global CMO and PepsiCo will tell us like we tested this thing with these Emonomy guys, and it increased efficiency of our campaigns 2 times. Or Nivea will tell us like we allocated $50 million budget and we got $20 million in media savings. So we need this level of proofs, and this is on what we're working at the moment. So once we have these cases, this is, I guess, the direct pathway to unicorns.
I mean, you are Delaware Incorporated
Right.
and pretty much digital wherever
Yeah, of
place
course.
around the globe.
Yeah.
Now, for the money you're raising today, your seed round, which
Yeah.
is, me, I have to say, is not that big. Are you
Yeah. So
confident it's enough for you guys? And
that's enough. That's enough to prove our initial hypothesis, to show these cases I mentioned to you, and to see how effectively we are for the market, and to get a revenue for at least $2 million from these cases. So that would be enough. Once, and it will be enough for our runway for like 1 year or more. So once we confirm with these use cases, of course, we will raise much more. However, right now it doesn't make sense for us to dilute more and to give away more equity.
so this is 12 months to run away.
Yes.
Who is the investor you're looking for?
We're looking for investors who can make decisions as fast as possible. So this is what the first criteria for us, because we have to run fast, and that's it. And of course, as I mentioned, we have a 500 as accelerator. Demo day will be in 1 month and a half. So we want to raise a little bit before demo day, just also to speed up our developments. But if we have few investors on board and we have to choose, of course, we're looking for people from marketing background. The more experience in the marketing space, the better it is. The best person is head of something in a big media agency or C-level in marketing space in a large enterprise. So this is the best angel for us right now.
Andrew, thank you so much. Stay with us. Don't go because we are all soon back.
Right.
Thank you. Moving to our second founder, Albert Oms Bazas, co-founder and CFO of Kibus, headquartered in Barcelona, Spain, food tech, pet, animals, Internet of Things. We are talking about late seed around 150K in euros. How's it going, Albert?
Hi, Max. It's going fine. Thank you for inviting us to present Kibus to all of you.
Thank you
It's a
so
pleasure
much.
being here today.
So let's give an introduction to yourself and after go straight to business.
Okay. Thanks. Very nice to meet you. I'm Albert Toms. I'm co-founder. I'm CFO at Kibus. Kibus is the first device that prepares healthy pet food automatically. It's what we call an espresso of pet food. My background is in finance. I used to work in multinational companies in the financial part in big corporates, and then I decided to start entrepreneur with my colleague Albert Icard and Marta. We are three co-founders, and we started 4 years ago developing our Q solution that I will now let you know more. And hope you will join us to revolutionize the industry, the pet food industry together. So I'm going to share and start the pitch, if that's fine. Okay, so this is Kibus. Kibus is the first device that prepares healthy pet food automatically. As I was mentioning, we call it is an espresso of pet food. And basically, after years in the industry, we realized that many changes are happening. My co-founder, Albert Icard, has been involved in the industry all his life. His grandparent founded a business that's been lasting for more than 70 years, and he used to be the sales and marketing director in the business. So what we realize is that it is a growing market of more than 100 billion euros only in pet food worldwide, and it's also growing in the terms of minimally processed foods and alternative foods. And what's more important is that it's drastically changing because we are now considering our pets as part of the family. And as our family members, we want to feed them with the best nutrition. So we would feed them with the same foods we also take. So that's why we want to give them the most natural and healthy foods. When we realize that, these pet parents are changing from heavily processed foods as kibble or canned to alternative, such as frozen or even many customers cooking at home. But these kind of alternatives are very inconvenient as they require preparation process before every meal. So there's a new paradigm in the industry where the big players such as Nestlé, Purina, or Mars are already acquiring big startups, such as Nonom now last year for more than 1 billion, a company that was only with a revenue of 29 million 2022. And there's two main drivers in the industry, the convenience and the naturality of the food. So Kibus wants to fit this new scenario where we offer with Kibus idea solution, which means a value proposition based on healthy natural food, but served in the most convenient way. So as a customer, you only need to fill the food recipes in the device once a week and fill the water time. And you just need to program the grams for each meal. And Kibus does the whole cooking process internally. And when the food is ready, the bowl goes out automatically. There's also water available that keeps refilling automatically. And you can also program all the meals from afar, from your smartphone, and control everything from your device. Our food recipes are made of mainly meat, fruits, and vegetables where only the water is removed for a longer shelf life, but keeping the flavors and the nutrients from the fresh ingredients. It means that it provides our pets a longer and happier life, and it's already been proven that feeding pets on a minimally processed diet makes them live longer for more than 30%. We are selling B2C subscriptions from our own e-commerce, and we're starting from 39 euros for a complete system, including the device and the food recipes. And we provide it in a monthly basis to cover all the pet needs in terms of nutrition. We've protected our solution and we've validated our business model, having a very good retention with our current churn rate of 33-month lifetime for each customer with an average ticket of 60 euros and a 50% margin, deducting already the logistic costs, the hardware, and the food, meaning that we have a 1K per customer lifetime value, which is 10 times our current acquisition cost. We have an experienced team with Albert Icard, as mentioning, related in the industry all his life. Marta is our CMO, and her background is in scaling up startups at the UPC in Barcelona. And my background is in finance, as already mentioned. And we have also structured all the team to grow this year with Paula in the operating side, our own nutritionist there, and Mark for the hardware part. And we've also come with the main and renowned mentors and collaborators in different business areas. For example, the board of Purina that's been collaborating with Kibus, Thomas, in the marketing area. So far, we have industrialized, developed, and protected our solution, get everything ready for mass production, and develop our food range, and validated all our business model to get ready to grow, together with Nestle Purina, to whom we are collaborating, in order to achieve in the next 12 months our target of 1,000 customers and achieve 1 million ARR. So we have everything in place, and we are now fundraising to reach 550K, and we've already covered 70% of the run, and already counting with the main venture capital in Spain, as ventures from Inverready Group and other local investors and international investors from Singapore. So our plan is to consolidate in Spain in the next month, and in order to grow from next year on in the pet channel and also in new markets in Europe and in the US. We've been awarded technology for the main industry players, and we've also been awarded in Spain and renowned entities such as Amazon being the best startup last year. So thank you so much for your attention, and we would love to have you on board to revolutionize the pet food industry together. Thank you so much.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Albert. I'm a big fan. My audience will be very happy. Now, let's say I'm traveling for 2 days. I mean, you can't leave a property for 2 days, but it's not only for dogs. Maybe it's for cats, maybe one day. So I can program with my mobile phone and having the food, for example, delivered to my dog 3 times per day.
Yes, exactly. From your smartphone, you can program any meal you want. So just for example, customers we have that they used to program on a daily routine, even they are at home. But of course, if you leave, you can program it and schedule for different times a day. So yeah, then you have the notification on your smartphone, so you can have the security that the food has been served and your pet has been fed.
That's seriously brilliant. Now, in terms of the economics, let's talk about a bit more specifically about your business model. You are giving for free the device, you are giving for free the food, for my understanding, and they pay €39 per month as a subscription plan.
It's from 39 euros for smaller dogs. So our average dog of around 20 kilos would pay around 60 euros, but 85% of the dogs goes from 39 euros to 99 euros subscription, which, as you were mentioning, including the complete system of device and the food on a monthly basis, as long as they are subscribed to the Kibus solution.
So the difference is how much food you must give,
Exactly, depends on the size of the dog. We prepare a specialized plan for each of our customers. They provide us with information and characteristics of their pets, and then we just personalize a plan for them, and then they get the food to cover the nutritional foods on a monthly basis.
So you advise them also on the kind of food the dog must use?
Yeah, they also tell us about any pathology the pet may have, the activity and their preferences as well. So from this information, then we are capable to prepare a specialized plan.
So are we talking only about dogs when it comes to pet, or which else?
For the moment, yes. We are also thinking about cats, but we decided to start with this first version just to adapt and to get a first device mainly adapted and developed by dogs. In the second phase, we will launch one more specific for cats.
I had cats all my life. They are not reliable at all. Maybe dogs is better. They can leave home for 5 days and they never. How can you do this? It's very complicated. No, the dog is the right choice, at least to test the business. I mean, what about the IP? Belongs all to you guys?
Yes, we have protected the device, all the innovative system in terms of mechanics and all the development we've done so far. We've also protected the industrial design and the brand.
but you are not building. I suppose there's someone else, sourcing, building all the devices for you, making them.
Yes, we have a partner that is manufacturing for us, but of course, with the IP belongs to Kibus.
Great. Now you are 100% focused on Spain. You're already having a very good traction. What's going to happen next?
So for the next, what we see is that having the current metrics would be easy to launch to the main European markets where these kind of solutions are already growing, and having a unique and defensive solution not being having for any other competitor would be very easy to scale. For example, France, Italy, Germany are the main markets. We would like to replicate from next year on this model in these markets.
Who are your competitors today doing something maybe not the same, similar?
We don't know any company doing exactly the same. I mean, there's no other having a hardware that prepares cooked food. I mean, recently cooked food. There's the frozen food alternatives, which is minimally processed and natural food, but those require a process from the user because they have to unfroze. Well, it's so convenient because they have to keep 20 kilos in their freezer, and they have to prepare because then they have to unfroze to heat the food and so on. But there's any doing the same as we do, and there's also, for example, the food dispensers that they only dose the kibble food, the small croquette, and they can also be programmed, but they are not cooking the food itself. So for the moment, we don't know any offering solution as we are.
Here is roughly 10 times LTV on CAC. But how your users are going to buy your service? Are they committed at least for 12 months? How does it work?
Sorry, can you come again for the last part?
The users, when they come to buy your service, okay, because now they're buying the service in SaaS, let's say, model, and for how long they must stay committed? Because for you having 10 times LTV, probably they must stay with you at least 1 year.
Yeah, the good thing is that thanks to the technology, the customers get very committed. The retention is very good already. We are actually getting 3 times better retention than our competitors, and this is thanks to the product, because once they are subscribed, they just receive the food at home, and the churn is very low. So it gives us the certainty that leaving all these devices to our customers makes a business model very profitable.
I agree. That's my last, and after I had to move. Who is the investor persona you're looking for?
We're looking into someone that could not only provide or cover the rest of the run. We would also like someone that could know about the sector, could know about business model, could help us in any of the business areas we want to focus. So, of course, the money is always money, but if it's smart money for us, it's always more interesting.
At the very beginning, smart money, the most important for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Albert. Thank you so much. We are
Thanks
come
so
back.
much.
Stay with us. Thank you.
Thanks.
Before introducing Oisin, I mean, everyone wants to make any question to our founders. Please just, as we stream on YouTube and LinkedIn, just write the questions. We are very happy to bring to our founders. Oisin Walsh, CEO of Playnbrag, Donegal, Ireland. Sports, seed around 750K in euros. How's it going, Oisin?
Hi Max, how you doing? How's things? Thanks for having me today to pitch Playnbrag to yourself, your team, and your audience. My name is Oisin from Ireland, Donegal, in the northwest of the country, and I'm here today to pitch our sports startup. I'm an avid sports fan, and we've created a social media and social sports betting app for the masses, where sports fans can bet against each other on live sports in seconds. So yeah, I'm ready to go, Max. If when you are, let's go. Go ahead here. Okay.
Go.
So Playnbrag. So the problem Social sports betting for the masses. Sports book and fantasy sports providers have failed in their quest in mass adoption of social sports betting. But why is this the case? It's simply down to the following aspects. Poor user experience. They're not optimized for social sports betting. There's far too much friction and it's far too labor intensive for sports fans to set up social bets or join social bets with their friends or other social groups. They also lack sticky features for fan engagement. So we address these issues by building a complete seamless social sports app experience for sports fans. A one-stop, fully immersive sports fan experience, which culminated in a social media and social sports betting app designed for the masses. We currently host 5 global sports offerings on the app. They include the Premier League football, the Champions League football, the Formula One, the golf, and the tennis. The user simply swipes left to right for each sport on our app. So we provide the latest sports content, curating the latest content on our social media feed pages for each sport, where the user can consume and interact with all of the latest content from news articles, video highlights, reels, and so on from across the internet, where they can like, comment, share, and post and so on, whilst also engaging on the betting tabs, which are at the footer of each social media page, as shown here on the right-hand side. So we're really a Twitter for sports, if you like. We also offer frictionless user experience, where we enable our players to set up and join social bets with friends and other social groups in seconds, as shown here in the golf on the right-hand side. So really the crux of this is to, bring social sports betting to the masses. There's also football, where teams can select teams to make up their team rather than players, akin to a sweepstake. We've also got enhanced user engagement features, such as live scoring, where players bet updates in real time, where each player's positions are constantly changing, offering them a highly engaged user experience. And there's also a comments feature in the bet section, where players can exchange banter and trash talk with each other when their bet is in play, further enriching engagement and user experience. There's also a public bet section and leaderboards, where players can compete against the masses and have the opportunity to win bigger pots, further enriching our community and fan engagement within the app ecosystem. So a market overview. There's currently 100 million fantasy sports players globally, and the global sports betting market is worth 203 billion. We're initially going to target the UK remote sports betting market, which is currently worth £2.3 billion. So we seek to take significant market share from sports betting and fantasy sports providers based on giving our customer better value with our superior offering, whilst also creating a new mass market for social betting. Our route to market is through golf fans, as they make up the most engaged audience, and Premier League football fans. They're the lowest to acquire at €1.30. We use video mobile marketing to acquire customers using social media channels. We will also sponsor sports social influencers, primarily podcasters and YouTubers, and get them to create and promote large public cash pots with their community on our app. Here's a brief example of some of our metrics from golf. Cost to acquire registered users €1.56, with an average of 5 players per private league, with 84% of these players coming back daily. Our competition, Paddy Power, a global sportsbook provider, have now a fantasy sports offering in the UK and Irish market. Fantasy Premier League, the biggest fantasy game of its kind in the world, with 11.3 million players. And DraftKings, a daily fantasy sports company valued at 11 billion, would be most similar to our model, except at Playnbrag, you can set up and join bets much faster, is customized for social betting, and has sports social content with the social media feed pages. Our business model, B2C model, is 7.5% commission for all winning cash pots and 10% commission for all winning virtual pots. Each customer, I'll just skip through here quickly. I'm running out of time. So B2B model as well we have, which is a white label solutions offering. We offer our social sports offerings and fantasy sports offerings to the sports betting industry through game development companies, white label solution providers, in return for revenue share agreements. We've already got 2 signed up as of this year, and are in advanced talks with others. Key takeaways are we've got a UK gambling license. We're accepting live payments with paying customers. We've got a clear route to market with product market fit and a low cost required customer market entry. The native apps are live in both App Store and Google Play Store, and we're web supported also. The team, myself, Oisin Walsh, and my partners in India who have been with me since the beginning of the build and know the entire platform inside out. So we're seeking €750,000 to scale our sports app here in the UK and Ireland, and then further afield from there. Here's a breakdown of how the funds will be spent over the 3 years, and our projections from when we secure the funding and when we start to scale. These don't include the B2B revenue, which will be added to this balance sheet. Thank you.
Thank you, Oisin. Let's start with regulation. You are already licensed in UK. And
yeah. So we're licensed in the UK. We're fully regulated by the UK Gambling Commission, and so our app is available in the Google Play Store and App Store here in Ireland and the UK, and so our B2C is there. You can play it. We've also now gone, into the B2B space just to make, so that from an investor standpoint as well, as that we're able to drive revenue out the gate with the B2B model.
But right now, we are only B2C. Am I right?
Well, we're only B2C, but we're now also moving into B2B white label solutions model now also. So we've signed 2 agreements as of February of this year, one with Interactive Gaming and the other one with Different Bet Solutions. And so the focus now is to secure investment, but also to grow our B2B white label solutions business.
What's your traction today?
The traction is, so we've had to pull back and focus on the B2B. So we have 700-800 users, but we have to, and that's really from beta testing and all the rest. And we've had to, that's the B2C model. And we've kind of had to hold back on that until we either secure investment to scale it, or drive revenue through the B2B model, and then grow both businesses alongside each other.
I mean, what is my experience, combining B2C and B2B is pretty challenging. They're very different business model. So, and very costly. B2C is costly business model. It's nothing to do. You must run a very strong marketing campaign. Now, where would you like to go? Are you still very focused on B2C, or maybe because you need a lot of money, seriously a lot of money? 150K in B2C, I think is very little. Or you want to shift to a B2B model, more secure, less costly?
Yeah, that's a good question, Max. So basically, look, I'm looking at it from an investment standpoint, an investor standpoint, both VCs and especially angel investors. If it was my money, what would I want what would I want them to be doing with it? So I think with the B2B, it's sort of it makes the business much more feasible, whereby we can basically drive a lot of revenue generally out the gate quite quickly with the B2B model, and then also continue to grow the B2C alongside it. And and if that really starts to get really good traction quickly, we can then go quickly back around to raise that Series A and focus more on the B2C. The B2B is more sort of as a safety valve, if you like, and we're already getting quite a bit of interest from white label solution providers and operators for our games, because it's fantasy sports and social, and this is an emerging sort of sector and market within sort of the gambling industry, because people now are looking for fan engagement games, fan engagement tools, retention hooks, and so on.
And the social media part is used to, bring attention and keep the people into the platform and them talking to each other.
100%. So basically, what the whole thing with social media thing is that, with, social games and all that there, the shortest one is for, say, one round of golf in a PGA tournament or a European tour. But so most of them run for over a weekend, minimum period of over a weekend. So it's really to kind of create those daily habitual users. So what we did was we built the dedicated social media feed page for esports. So when we were building it, we were taking all the best aspects from Twitter, from Instagram, from Facebook, and so on, and building something that didn't really exist yet. And that is, so for instance, for all those sports apps out there, from BBC Sports to Sky Sports to OneFootball to Live Score to also Twitter, Instagram, and all that there, we're able to combine all of those into one place where people can go and consume all of that news without having to go in and out of different apps or different websites to consume their sports for that particular sports vertical. And then the beauty of it is you don't need to have the app or the social media account to consume all of the latest content. So you can watch the videos from Instagram and Twitter and all that without being signed up to the social media sites.
Which investors are you looking for?
Sorry, which or
the investors? What's the investor persona? Who would you like to have on board as an investor, angel investor, I suppose?
Somebody, I suppose, like for me, somebody that's avid sports fans, and not necessarily people that are already in the gambling sector, but people that are just avid sports fans and that have a passion for sports and technology. And yeah, I think that would probably be my number one. Somebody that I could work with and enjoy working with together on, or like as in reporting to, I suppose. Not that's. But so really, the perfect profile would be people, avid sports fans, and people that have a passion for technology, and I suppose people as well within the gambling sector also.
Oisin, thank you so much. Stay with us. Don't go. We are very much soon all back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Max.
So we are moving our last, but again, not the least at all, founder, Kaushal Shah, CEO and founder of EnvoPAP, London-based waste management, no plastic, advanced materials, impact, sustainability. Growth around 3.75 million in pounds. How's it going, Kaushal?
Very well. It's getting good sunny weather here in London, so can't complain.
Thank you so much. So let's give an introduction to yourself, and after, please go to business.
Absolutely. Firstly, thank you, Max, for the invitation to be a part of the EquityMatch today. I'm Kaushal, founder of EnvoPAP. To give you a little brief about myself, I came here to study at the University of Southampton. In my second semester, came up with the idea of EnvoPAP and ventured directly into the business. Tomorrow, we actually complete 8 years of the company, and it's been one of the finest journeys as a whole of building products, using waste and creating impact on the ground, not just helping farmers, but also helping companies and organizations across the world in reducing their carbon footprint. So as EnvoPAP, we look at multiple interconnected problems, all the way from the waste management of agricultural waste. So I come from India, and in India, we have a huge amount of farming which happens across the country, where a lot of waste is generated after the harvesting of crops like sugarcane, wheat, rice, corn, maize, sarkanda. And a lot of this waste is easier to get for farmers is to collect it on the side of the field, take a matchbox, light it up, and then burn it. By the end of the morning, it's all gone. But this also creates a huge other problem, which is air pollution. And more importantly, with the current climate change issues across the world, with direct and indirect impact, we have excessive rains and droughts, which is hampering the income levels for a lot of farmers, which is where we've created EnvoPAP, where we buy our waste from farmers and make that into products. Our vision is very simple. We inspire a world where no packaging harms the planet, and more importantly, we want to innovate packaging solutions by revolutionizing the industry. We all know today a lot of companies across the world have made bold ambitions. They want to reduce their plastic in their packaging in cosmetics, retail, food, e-commerce, and multiple other places. But we know that only 9% of what we produce, which is about more than 350 million tons of plastic which is produced, only 9% is being recycled. And we're moving away from one problem where we're moving away from plastic to wood fiber paper. But the world doesn't have enough trees to cut down to meet the demand. We're actually cutting down trees at the level of an island space of Barbados every single day. And as I mentioned before, India faces a huge wheat straw and rice straw and other crops burning issue. But it's not a very local problem just in India. We have seen this issue of stubble burning in Australia, Canada, East Africa, West Africa, South America, predominantly Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, and it's a global phenomenon, which is where we have EnvoPAP, where we use all these waste products and make amazing, beautiful products for the packaging industry, as you can see, all the way from packaging for cosmetics, pizza, to retail and e-commerce. But where it makes a difference is, even though we're using waste, we're able to create products which have the same printability, which have the same durability of making sure that the product can be transported, and more importantly, it's scalable and affordable as of today. As a business, we're very proud that we help ensure the start of our product, the use, and the end of life of it, and which is why we worked with a company called Intertech, a London Stock Exchange entity, to certify our end of life, making sure that all our products are recyclable to make a new paper, biodegradable, marine degradable, and also compostable at home and industrial. Using waste does make a lot of difference, but more importantly, as a business, we are a certified B Corporation, one of the first in the world as an alternative materials company, and also we are a fair trade business where we buy our waste with regulated fair trade farmers, and now we're also a vegan certified company for all our materials, making sure that we don't use any toxins in our products. That's our process, which has evolved over 8 years, and we work with companies across 50 plus countries where we sell our products, but also work with vendors who help manufacture many products for us with our packaging and publishing companies. So making products from waste was great, but today we're very proud that we worked with Intertech to also look at our cradle to grave life cycle analysis. We looked at comparing our products against wood fiber products, 100% made from softwood and hardwood pulp. We also looked at products which were made from recycled fiber, and more importantly, also mixed fiber. And we noticed we still have a lower carbon footprint, even though our products are made in India and transported to destinations across the world. We work with companies across the world. These are all global known brands you must have seen or heard. Many of the products are already in the market, and we are continuously innovating and trialing with multiple partners across to make more products. We are in a very growing market today because consumers are asking for sustainable packaging. The government is being forced to make new laws and make new policies so that it supports the new age materials and innovations like us. And more importantly, countries are also banning plastic, which helps aiding the growth into our business model. Today, I'm coming in front of you to ask to join us in our growth round. We're raising £4 million, wherein we're very proud that we've got about 50% of our round subscribed and committed, and we're looking for the balance round. This is to help build our first greenfield manufacturing plant in India. I thank you very much for listening to me. I hope you found this interesting, and if you think you want to learn more, please get in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kaushal. You're doing something great. I'm very pleased. I'm a guy who believes one day packaging must go. I know that it's not good for you, but maybe you can pivot to something different. Now, in terms of performance, in terms of market fit, where are you standing today?
So, as a business, for March 23, we have turned over about £2.6 million, which is just above $3 million US. And this is by selling in more than 40 countries. Today, we operate predominantly in Europe, Middle East, Africa, and some parts of Asia.
So the production is in India?
Yes, 100% of our material waste collection happens in India. And after the waste is collected, a lot of the other processes happen either in Europe or India.
And after it's shipped everywhere around the world?
Yes.
So who are today your clients?
We work with companies like L'Oreal, M&S, Eucerin, and we work also with a lot of B2B companies, because if, let's just say, you are a large fashion brand, you have always been purchasing your packaging for e-commerce or retail from a local vendor. Now, when a local vendor is involved, even though we engage with the brand, we provide them carbon analysis on changing to EnvoPAP materials, but we partner and collaborate with their existing supply chain. So the way we work is on multifold. One is we work with the brands directly for purchase and delivery, but sometimes, not to break the supply chain, we work with their current engaged or traditional supply chain partners or packaging companies who would buy materials from us in reels or sheets and then make products for them, which they've been doing for years with them.
I mean, the problem you're addressing is, of course, footprint and polluting the world and destroying everything from paper to plastic. But why 9% is it's very little? And where is the problem? Why still we are at 9% recycling? Because the packaging is not good enough, it's not fashionable enough to be used? Why?
No, so the problem is very simple. We have overproduced than what our recycling infrastructure exists today. I'll give you a very simple example. If you've looked at products which have plastic on the outside, inside we have an aluminum layer. Most countries in the world don't even have the recycling infrastructure for recycling that. It's a joint material. One is separation. We don't have the infrastructure. After you separate, then you recycle. But if you don't, it's rather better to incinerate it or burn it up. And that's what has been happening, which is why there's a need for new age materials to come, which have recyclable properties on local source. So if I'm getting anything from India and getting it to the UK or the European Union, we make sure that our products have recycling infrastructure on here instead of getting that trash being shipped out to some other countries for recycling.
So now you are raising this for creating the first factory in India, yeah?
Yes.
And I believe proximity is very important for you. You must be there. The factory must be there to process everything from the very beginning.
Absolutely.
So are you planning to move outside India one day? Because I mean, this problem is everywhere.
Absolutely. And we've already started work in Canada, which is with wheat waste. And I was in Australia just 3 months before, where similarly we've identified wheat farming and stubble burning waste to convert that product. As a company, we have a patent on our technology, and which is why we're looking for licensing of the technology in these two parts. But we don't expect revenues from the licensing until 2025.
Any approach to governments for any help, grants? For
everything will be in partnership with the governments, because the infrastructure and capital investment we require is quite heavy. So we have a public and private partnership coming in. And of course, a lot of grants and incentives from local governments. Australian government has been very interestingly supportive.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they must support you 100%. So today, which investor are you looking for in terms of persona? Who is this?
So someone who understands sustainability, someone who's as passionate as us of making impact and change, and believes that using waste is the future, because we're producing a lot of waste. So if we don't utilize it well and use it for products like packaging, and more importantly, we're looking for vision-aligned patient capital.
In terms of, this is my last one, in terms of margin, you pay the farmers, for what is my understanding. And what's the margin in your business?
So we operate in 4 different product segments. One is our materials business, which has print materials, packaging materials. Then we have our bespoke business, which is creating the product from design to delivery with the carbon analysis. And then we have our barrier division, wherein our base materials are added with oil increase, aroma barriers, oxygen and moisture. Each division has its own margins, but on average out it comes to a gross of 40%.
That's serious margin. Kaushal, stay there, don't move. Thank you so much, but don't go, because we are bringing all of you guys, and I will start with you, Kaushal. So we close slightly different today, always with our question when investing. But before this, Kaushal, what makes you doing this? We know that founders are driven by passion. And the founders who succeed are very passionate about what they're doing. They don't sleep at night. So why are you doing this? And after why investing in your venture, your team, and yourself?
My reasons are very simple. I'm a 3rd generation entrepreneur, but I'm also a 3rd generation farmer in my family. Our family has been quite well-to-do in terms of the farming business, but many farmers I've seen all my life have struggled. They don't meet their ends meet. They are forced to take loans at high rates, and that forces them to either commit suicide or then sell their land at a very bad cost. So we are building a business where we are creating impact for farmers, but making sure that we are creating beautiful, amazing products for companies who actually want to use them. And that's my
And we're
mission.
investing. And we're investing.
Sorry, I didn't catch you. What you said.
Why invest in your team, yourself, and your venture?
Over the period of years, we have grown immensely in terms of revenues. Last year, our revenues have grown 20% average out. Our recurring revenue has grown 50% year on year. And as a business, we're scaling up our technology, not just in certain markets like Europe, but also in Africa to Middle East. If anyone else heard of the Dubai World Expo, which happened for 6 months in 2021-22, we made the whole packaging for them. They were very proud customers, and they mentioned about EnvoPAP everywhere.
Thank you so much, Kaushal. Andrew, what drives you and why investing?
I guess the main driver is that it's interesting to see a change of the conservative industry. So the market, like for $200 billion, which been working in some rules right now, can change these rules. And this shift of this so big market is something really interesting to watch and affect, of course. And then investing, you have to think 2 times about this opportunity. So I mean that you don't have to invest if you're looking for something which can a little bit grow and make an exit in 3 or 4 years with a understandable unit economics, multipliers, and so on. So you have to invest if you really love kind of risky decisions and catching unicorns, which can become unicorns with a frankly small probability, but can change everything in something really big. So you have to think 2 times. And if you want to affect the really big market and see how it evolves and can be changed, then I'm happy to talk.
Thank you, Andrew. Oisin, same to you.
So, excuse me. So yeah, look, I'm an avid sports fan, and we've gone and built a social media and social sports betting app for the masses. And why would you invest in us? We are confident and convinced now that we have the live products fully tested and validated in the marketplace, that we have a product, an app now that will scale to the masses for sports fans, a one-stop shop solution for sports fans where they can consume all the latest content, but also bet with each other in seconds in a social environment. And then we also have mitigated your investment by also providing white label solutions offerings to white label solutions providers and operators, and have already got 2 contracts signed with others in talks with other providers. So yeah, there you go. Thanks.
Thank you, Oisin. Albert, please close. Why and
Yes.
why?
Thank you. I think that because we have built something that's unique and that's also protected, it's in a scalable solution it's in a very large and changing market, and I think that our solution is fully aligned with what the current customer trends and it meets perfectly with pet parents' needs. So we've already been awarded by renowned entities, as mentioned, and with industry leaders, and we've overcome all the technical and market risks. So we are now ready to scale. And if you want to join a project that will change the whole industry, I think it's a very good opportunity for investors to join us.
And why did you start Kibus? What was the driver, the passion you had behind?
We started Kibus because we love pets, and we wanted to offer something that could change how we've been feeding, and something that allow us to have a solution that is convenient for us, but so nowadays we have a lot of focus on what we eat, on taking care about ourselves and so on. But since pets are already part of the family, we wanted to offer something that could also help our pets' health get improved. And since we are all passionate about pets, we think that everyone that is also a pet lover should join our project as well.
Albert, Oisin, Andrew, Kaushal, thank you so much for being with us today. I enjoyed so much, and I'm sure all our audience loved what you're doing. And I really hope in EquityMatch we can help you guys to secure this funding. We are back again. I thank you, of course, to all our audience. We're back again on Tuesday with other new funders coming. And thank you again to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.